Hey guys, how are ya? I'm just working on some notes here. I'm trying to make going live a regular thing again for 7 p.m. on Mondays. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you had a nice Mother's Day weekend. I got a lot done today, a lot of outdoor work and projects. If you caught the short video I put out a few days ago, I was able to actually get a chainsaw out and cut down a few trees and open up another path to more of our property. That felt really good. So we're getting a lot more outdoor activities done all over the place. Our freeze dryer buddy, we love when we call him that. Like you see here on the screen, it says buddy's work list. This is part of our to-do list. I look at it every now and then. I make changes, and so far this is working out great. Beef, chicken, eggs, a lot of protein, and meals. We're working on that right now. I want to talk a little bit of everything with you guys tonight. I want to kind of go back to the basics. I've gotten away from preps and skill building and whatnot. Focus a lot about news and current events and things that are happening. And with that being said, I'm shifting back towards what was the main foundation of the channel, which was learning skills, getting prepared, talking to you guys, talking to other experts in different fields about a little bit of everything that has a big impact on us. So, I went through a few boxes and brought out a little bit of everything that we could talk about tonight, and some notes here. I want to talk about bartering and long-term food storage. But bartering's a good one. Bartering is a skill that a lot of us don't use. Maybe, with close friends or family, we'll make trades here and there, but I think it's going to make a comeback, and it is making a comeback because I've heard stories and read articles where people are working with contractors and they'll exchange silver. That's a big one. It used to be crypto for a while. Contractors, landscapers, for example, trade skills and time and effort for crypto, and now silver's starting to make a play in that game now. So I got some things out, talk to you guys, answer some questions, and go over some notes, and getting back to the basics. So notes, let me go over page 1, which is barter. And one of the information on here, the USDebtClock.org hit an unfortunate big milestone a day or two ago. The U.S. total debt, let's see if I can show you guys this, is now over $100 trillion, which is that big number right here. So just something to think about when it comes to not only inflation, and not just the U.S. national debt, but the total debt. All right, so barter. Now, I made a list, just something to kind of go back to the basics, and right off the bat, on top of here, I wrote, remember, only barter what you are comfortable bartering with. So whatever you have, whatever you think you may need, think about hypothetical situations and whatnot, and just go from there. There's so many channels that offer and talk about skill building, barter. That's one right there. Just something to think about in the future in case things get extra weird. You have something that people may need, and you can do a trade, not only for supplies, but even skills. So that is something to think about when talking about not only preps, but getting ready. Now, the first one is skills and community. Building skills. Yeah, we are talking not only what you may know, but things that you may think that you can take advantage of. Food. Food's a big one with inflation and costs going up everywhere. Grocery shopping, whatnot. Start small. If you're brand new to this, start with herbs like basil, for example, and then grow from there. And then from there you can grow cucumbers, and then from cucumbers you can make your own pickles. You can learn to ferment and pickle foods and make things last throughout the winter. Getting into spring, to get you all the way through to summer and fall to work your next harvest. So there's a nice natural progression. You can work with dill that you can add into your pickles, for example. So fire starter supplies, that's another one. Something as easy as matches and lighters. Even if the lighter stops working, if you're able to create a little spark, you can use that as a rough backup, but that's something. Hygiene products, soap, toothpaste, floss, toothbrush, the basics. Natural feminine hygiene products, that's a big one. Medical supplies. Think about what your personal needs are. Think about, again, hypothetical situations. If XYZ happens, how would you handle it? Without the need of 911 if you could. Let's see here. Fuel. Again, I would personally save this for big trades because that's going to be a big one. Gas, short term, that's going to last, depending on how you store it, up to 6 months. Propane lasts a very long time. That's not going to go bad if you store it correctly. That's going to last you quite a while. Tools. How to fix things, repair things, construct things, make things last. Think handheld tools. Building supplies, tarps, nails, tape, duct tape, etc. Batteries, small but valuable. AA's are popular. D's are going to be a good one. Rechargeables if you can, especially with little solar panels. That's always getting creative. Extra clothes. Think about things that you may outgrow or have extra of. Just throw this to the side, like sweatshirts or certain other layers, coats. Sewing kits. Comfort is everything. If you're uncomfortable, that's, you know, your morale's down. This is going to be a pain in the butt. Let's see. Got here late notification. That's weird. Alright, sorry about that, Lorif. Alright, you know what? Not too late. You're actually pretty early. You're doing pretty good. So we're going over barter items, things you can use now, stock up on into the future, or trade. Again, these are things that you're comfortable bartering with. So again, sewing kits, think little ones and then grow from there. I had a sock darning kit. So if you have a little hole, you can catch it early. Build these skills now. I actually enjoy it. So I'm looking at socks as I do laundry. Take out your kit, sit down. It's a nice way to relax and practice now. So in the future when you need these things, you can make them last. Flashlights, big and small. That's going to be a big one right there. Light's critical for your go bags, for home, when the power goes out, or even in a trade. Get lots of little ones so you can make trades in the future if that's the case. Candles, different sizes. You can get votives, glass ones, stick candles, whatnot. They won't go bad. You can stack them. Cool, dark, dry area. You're good to go. Vices. This is what we talked about a while ago, but it's good to bring up again. Alcohol and tobacco are your primary vices for people. But remember safety. Somebody bring up a good point. If someone is so desperate to get their hands on alcohol or cigarettes, don't put yourself in an unsafe situation. So that's something you can think about, those little nips or little bottles. Tobacco, I don't know about long-term storage, but definitely airtight, mylar or tube absorber, see what happens. Alright, and barter buckets. This is something to think about to really be proactive. Put little containers together so if you have to make a quick trade with someone, you're ready to go. You don't have to think about, okay, what do I have? Where am I going to find it? Where did I put it? Little barter buckets. Little containers. Just get creative with it. Think basics, put them in there. Fast, easy trade, and you're safe. Food and water, that's your call. Just don't make yourself a target when it comes to food and water. I would think about just the basics. Unless it's someone you know really well. Food seeds. Someone brought up ammo a few times. I personally wouldn't do that. I really wouldn't do that, but that's your call, what you're comfortable with. Constitutional silver. Think 1964 and older. Those coins, your dimes, quarters, half dollars, are 90% silver. So the sound. This one is 1925. 90% silver. Now if you do the math for 1 ounce, think $1.40. And face value of those coins, that'll get you roughly 1 ounce of silver. So for some easy math, think $1.40 in dimes, quarters, half dollars, and that is roughly 1 ounce of silver. So constitutional silver, and the great thing about that is it's small and recognizable. All right, now, when the bottom of the barter list that I made, I put down here, first things first, get your house in order, then plan ahead what you and your family are going to need first and be comfortable bartering with later on. So again, think proactive now. Constitutional coins, great to have. Fractional silver. Here is a Vancami bar of 100 grams. These are great. You can actually bend and break these off and trade whatever it is that you may need. And here's the thing with silver right now, it's still affordable. A lot of people still call it lovingly on sale versus gold. Now with gold, you do have microfractional, like with goldbacks. Here's some options. These are recognizable, it's gold. You have safety and security features on here, and it's microfractional. So like this right here is 1/1000th of an ounce. You'll need 1,000 of these to make 1 ounce, and then go on from there. And the great thing about these versus something very small, like a gram of gold, if you drop this, you're in a bad place. If you drop this, I can see it, I can pick it up. You're safe. It's light, but you recognize it. And for smaller purchases, you're good to go. So be proactive, do the research now. You have a lot of options right now. And again, with inflation the way that it is, we talk about the BRICS nation having their next meeting is going to be in October. And they've already talked about getting off the dollar wholeheartedly. And there might be a soft leaving of it between now and then. A lot of people don't know. I don't like to speculate, but the fact that they've announced that meeting coming up in October, you do have time. You have months to get ready and things to think about and plan ahead. Again, silver, it's on sale. Do what you can, do what you are comfortable with. But again, this being under $30 an ounce right now is just a little over $20. I personally like things that are recognizable. Constitutional silver, silver eagles, maples, depending on where you are in the country. Goldbacks are fantastic. You have states like New Hampshire, Nevada, Utah, South Dakota, and Wyoming that now accept these for paying off debts and for business. I mean, I believe in New Hampshire there's over 200 businesses that accept these. I did it once, it was a lot of fun. I would definitely recommend it. So again, you have options here, big and small, depending on your budget and what your plans are. But again, get your house in order first, get preps that are very important, and spread things out. I have to-do lists right here on my whiteboard. Keep things going, keep working on your skill buildings. I have on the list over here, bartering, learning about fabric, how to make it, trading, and Dutch oven cooking. I want to do this outside now. So if you have a Dutch oven, how would you cook it outside? How would you prepare the area? There are ways to cook without it being known to many other people. You would dig 2 holes in the ground, have a fire on one side, vent it to the other, put a screen on top, and then you can start cooking. Again, there's a lot of skills that we could be working on, taking advantage of during these times right now, especially while it's nice out. Practice. Practice wood carving. I've been doing that for a few years now, and it's fun. It's like a rainy day or snowy day, or just some downtime. Work on making a spoon, work on making a bowl. I'm trying to work through this big chunk of beautiful cherry wood to make this like a mug that I can use for coffee or hot chocolate. That's a hard wood. It's taken me some time, but again, it's just something that you got to work on, which is patience and skill building. I have a yearly supply list like this, just constantly working on water filters, building up a water filter supply, vitamins, supplements, metals. Some examples, I would include brass on that one and lead. Building and repair supplies, and then medical supplies as well. That's always a good one. Now, getting off of barter and your to-do list, again, have a whiteboard or a piece of paper with a list on here. Work those. Long-term foods. Again, a lot of people are getting into this. This is becoming a great thing that a lot of people are becoming more self-reliant, and I love this. So instead of depending on other people, you can actually depend on yourself, and it's a great feeling when you make something or build something or watch it grow. Harvest it. Enjoy that. So again, the basics. We'll take it really easy. Beans, rice, again, complete protein, good to have, stores a very long time, cool, dark, dry location. Mylar, O2 absorber, you're good to go. Canned meats, up to 5 years, rotate it. Pasta, same deal. Sugar and salt do not need O2 absorbers when you store them. Just put them in a Mylar bag and in a bucket and you're good to go. Both offer flavor and food preservation. Like if you're gonna make jams or jellies with sugar, you're awesome. Salt, not only is it good for flavor, but you can preserve meats. Honey, it lasts a long time, forever. In fact, the little white bubbles on top are antibacterial, so if you have a small cut and you don't want to worry about getting an infection, fantastic to put right on top. Lentils, split peas, canned fruits and vegetables, up to 5 years with rotation. Oats, popcorn, that's a fun one. Those will last a very, very long time in a cool, dark location. Take them out, you can pop it for a little morale boost. You can make kettle corn, whatever it is that your heart's desires. But again, it's a great morale boost. And who doesn't love a little bowl of popcorn from every now and then? Powdered milk, very important for baking and drinking. In fact, I just read a cool tip on powdered milk. Someone said to make it and let it rest for a little bit. Give it a few minutes. You can add a little pinch of vanilla or sugar to it to help sweeten it. And it'll actually improve the flavor of the milk. Spices, very important. Cinnamon, cayenne pepper, you name it, everything else in between. Whatever it is that you like to flavor, again, think about the rice and beans. There are stories of food fatigue back in the World Wars where young kids and the elderly would just stop eating because they kept eating the same thing over and over and over again without any change in the flavor. They got bored, finicky, and some people died because of food fatigue. Something basic as just eating the same food over again. We don't do that every day. So can you imagine eating the same bowl of rice and beans without even salt on it? How long would you go doing that? Let's see here. Alcohol. Think vodka, tequila, rum, bourbon, whiskey, scotch. No alcohol with any dairy in it, preferably. So it'll actually last you in a tremendous long time. It's going to outlive you. Let's see here. If you can, for additional varieties, add freeze-dried food. That's a big one. If you can get into freeze-dried food now, number 10 cans, pantry-sized cans, get yourself a Harvest Right freeze dryer, for example. You can make your own meals. You can make your own MREs that are custom to what you guys like. Beef, chicken, eggs, both raw and cooked. Raw is great if you're going to bake or use them for later for different meals. Scrambled eggs, for example, you can cook them up, put them on the trays, and freeze dry them. Think baby food. Young kids in the future. If someone's hurting or in trouble, you can say, hey, I have baby food set to the side. You can have fruit mashed up, put it on the tray, you're good to go. All you have to do is just add water. You can even freeze dry breast milk. Regular milk, you can put that on there. If you're able to get your hands on raw milk, put it on there. Again, think about whatever your needs versus wants are. Morale boost wise, God, you can make, your own homemade fill-in-the-blank pie or cheesecake or something, put it on there. Think long term, not just the basics, but you can get really creative with this. Think about the list, think about the to-dos, think about your day-to-day life and what your wants versus what your needs are. And then just go from there. But again, it's great to see the community really not just growing, but being taken seriously. A long time ago, this was a funny thing because everything's fine, but when there's inflation through the roof, when there's spending up the wazoo, with our dollar being devalued so quickly to historic levels where this was just unheard of. You could never imagine this happening 20 years ago. Ron Paul did warn us back in the early 2000s, 2008 even, and after. He said we're headed to a dollar devaluation, and look at us now. So again, while time is still on your side right now, use between now and October as a goal, just to see how far you can go with the skill building, with what you could put away. Jay's case, no affiliation with them, but big fan of their cases. We have a few of them. And I got a lot of our friends and family to look into it and get those things. Think about just a short 3-4 years ago with supply chain issues. We kept hearing that over and over again. Supply chain issues, shortages, empty shelves on the stores. It's not that long ago, but a lot of people forgot about that. When things get better, that's all we focus on. So you can put this into your balance of life. You can still live your life, be very productive, and go on with whatever it is you're doing, but still put back a little bit of these things. You have life insurance, you have home insurance, car insurance. Why not have some of this as a what if? I mean, Weimar Republic, that was what, 100 years ago? I mean, look at Venezuela now. Look at what Argentina went through. Zimbabwe, the $1 trillion notes. Gold will always hold its value. Silver, same thing, especially while it's on sale. If you can find it, you can buy something as simple as, let me see if I can find one. You can buy one coin at a time. You can buy rounds. I mean, a long time ago, I bought these. And then you can still scale up and then buy a few more. It's just a little over 3 ounces right here. But you can break it apart for very small purchases or trades. Get creative. There's so many people online that do this for a living, getting people ready. But again, more important thing is get your house in order. Make a list. Get your whiteboard out, put it together, and work on everything that you need for you. Get you, whatever it is that you need for you, work on that. No one knows you better than you. What are your health issues, concerns, whatnot? Do you need to work on losing weight? Do you need to work on testing yourself? Some people have eaten the same thing over and over again, and they said, I couldn't last 3 or 4 days. But they did it. Go for long walks and hikes. Build on your go bag. Build on what would you need in there? Emergency blankets, a metal tin to boil water, flashlight. Think about the wind-up batteries, the wind-up radios that you would put in there for communication and to know what's going on. How to work your land. How to get the most out of your land. Building a garden, starting from buckets and containers to work in the land and then expanding from there and growing. If you don't have that, work with family and friends who have that. You guys can work together. And then really build not only that, but your community as well. Everyone has different needs and skills and whatnot that you can work together with. Again, build projects. We have that. I have that right now. Building a brick oven. I want to work on that this year. Work on the concrete foundation and then building it up. Adding more fruit and nut trees and herbs. That's on my build project list. Skill building, bartering, trade, and Dutch oven cooking outside. We'll be making more videos about that and letting you know how that works out. We have an uni oven where it's gravitational wood pellets that you use for cooking. You can make pizzas. Primarily people use it for pizzas, but the fact that it has no power and it just cooks on wood, practice that. How fast does it take to cook? What else can you cook in there? And then just go from there. Let me see over here. So that's in a huge nutshell. I want to get back to the basics. I like that. I like the fact more people are working together and getting these things done. Because again, we talked about the U.S. debt clock. Our total debt is over $100 trillion. And not just that, but we talked about BRICS having a meeting in October to talk about fully decoupling away from the US dollar. And on top of that, you have banks, central banks with the CBDCs. Again, gold, silver, barterability items, supplies, whatnot, just things to think about between now and use October as a goal. See what you can do between now and October. And maybe we can collaborate and talk more ideas between now and then. So in the comment section, if you have any ideas, things you want to discuss, things I might have missed, add it in there. Maybe we can even do a topic around that sometime. So it depends on what it is between now and then, what's happening. But again, there's time to do this stuff, to get things done, to get things growing, to build up your skills, all that good stuff. So hopefully this is a little a little smattering of everything to get you going. Just get the gears going and say, okay, I have XYZ, but what if there's a hole in my pants or my socks? Or what if I wear out my shoes? Maybe when I buy another pair of shoes, get a second pair to save for later. That we have a nice rotation. So when you get into that second pair, buy a new pair as if you just went through that last pair. You didn't have another one to go through. That way you do have a backup. Same thing with kids. If you have kids in your family, they grow fast. So if you can buy one thing, buy a couple extra. And so on. Again, just be creative. Make this personal and tailored to you. Whatever it is that you need. So work on your to-do list. Hopefully this inspired you guys to keep going with whatever it is you're working on or add to that list. I'm constantly working on my whiteboard. Taking off one project I completed and then adding a couple more that I think about. Like right now it's spring. Add the fruit and nut trees. Build up on your herbs. Learn how to dry your herbs with the dehydrator. Learn to use them more in your cooking. I have a big basil plant. I gotta start using that more. Or when the tomatoes start coming in, make your own sauce or can your tomatoes and add a few leaves of basil in there. Again, it's just a lot of peace of mind, especially with not only food inflation prices, but the way it's been bioengineered this and bioengineered that and allergies and whatnot. So if you can produce more of your food, you're doing tremendous. Okay, you're well ahead of your average person. This year we have a whole garden dedicated to einkorn wheat. And it's pretty good. We just looked at it yesterday and it's about, I want to say 7-8 inches in going. So that's going to be fun to watch and grow. We'll do some shorts in there. Let you know how that's growing, how tall it gets. From the time it's done growing to when we harvest it and then grind and make our first loaf of bread with it. So again, it's a lot of good things you could do with this stuff. But work on your to-do list. That's the biggest thing you can do, and it's right there in front of you every day. So you can look at your progress, you can look at what you've completed, and then what you want to add on top of there. So I hope you guys got something out of that. And we'll be doing more of these every Monday. And then lots of shorts in between with projects and everything else that we're doing. So I hope you guys are well. Thanks for hanging out. You guys be well. Take care.